guess we can just start just in general for both of you guys as you're coming up Saturday on Senior Day, and obviously it won't be the last game at Liberty Arena played, but you know that's what we'll be recognizing you guys on Saturday for. What's your general thoughts just as you think about Senior Day and your time at Liberty over the past 4 to 5 years?
It's been an amazing journey. The time definitely flew by really fast. I remember when I first got here, all the older guys were saying like it's gonna fly by, so try to enjoy it, try to soak everything in. But in a sense, also it also feels like it hasn't really dawned in that the time is ticking.
Yeah, I think for me, like the craziest thing is just seeing like the different transitions of stuff, like from Vines to Liberty Arena, like seeing like Zach Farquhar and Mayo on staff now. When I came in with those guys, I lived with Zach for 3 years when he was a player. Miles, one of my best friends here. So it's interesting to see things come full circle, and now us about to play our last regular season game at Liberty Arena is it's cool, but it's like bittersweet. So.
And Keegan, just kind of follow up a little bit on that. Obviously, your story is different. Everybody's story is different, but yours is a little unique in that you started at Liberty and you thought about leaving about midway through, and then you made the decision to stay at Liberty and see your career through here. Looking back on that in the last couple of years since that time, are you pleased with that decision that you made and how things have turned out since then?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. I tell some of the younger guys all the time. There was like a real mindset shift for me my redshirt year, of just kind of having gratitude for everything that the staff and this program does for us as players, and getting to that point where like I'm gonna work as hard as I can to get the minutes and different stuff that I deserve or that I want, and I'm gonna like work my butt off to get that. But if that doesn't happen, like, am I content with just being in this program full of people who love me and who I love? And I'd say once I shifted to that mindset, like, it's been an incredible 5 years here, and I'm really thankful for it. And I've grown a lot through it and like through the experience. So I owe a lot to the program and everybody that's been there with me throughout the last 5 years.
Keegan, I wanted to follow up with the question John just asked you, and Coach McGhee has said this quite a bit, that if you buy into the system and you work hard, you will be rewarded down the stretch. It might not be immediate, but you will be rewarded with playing time. Do you feel like in your leadership role you can say you are the prime example of that you bought into the system? There was a little valley there, but because of your buy-in and your commitment, you've been rewarded with an opportunity to be a major contributor on this team.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think sometimes if you're in your freshman, sophomore year, you're not playing, like, you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. I think a lot of people see like me playing a lot of minutes this year, but it didn't always like feel like that was going to happen my first couple years here. So yeah, I think trusting the coaches, buying in, and just not like ever stopping working hard. There's so many resources here that can get you where you want to go, and I just think it worked out. It worked out in my case, and I think for a lot of the younger guys, if they are bought in and they stick to it, like, it will work out for them too. So.
John?
Darius, I got one for you. You talked about how quick this ride has, like those guys have been saying how quick the ride's been. How quick has this ride been for you from coming in first year the program's in the A-Sun, you win one title, you win another title, then COVID hits, and you come back, win another one, and now you guys are trying to go for 4 straight. And does it seem like, man, where's all this time gone?
A little bit, but at the same time, like even from the very first championship that we won, it's like you don't forget the memories, you don't forget like the habits that you develop, like you just kind of build upon them because each one was harder than the one before it. So like I don't think that it feel like the time has flew by, but it's more so harping back on those moments and just trying to figure out or pull all the nuggets that you learn from them and bring them all into this current state where we're going for that 4P and just try to make sure we put our best foot forward as a program.
M?
I don't know if that plane was going first. Okay, Darius, so what do you think is the main lesson that you learned that you had no clue about life or basketball coming into the program that you learned, coming into senior night?
The biggest lesson, I would just say probably you have to attack your own personal life and your own personal growth outside of basketball just as hard as you do your game on the court because they go hand in hand as far as development and they both go into each other. Me personally, like you can take lessons from life and transition it to basketball and use it in some sense and the same vice versa. So you have to give that energy and effort and you have to receive and be honest with yourself, like as far as truth about areas of weakness in both. So that would be the biggest lesson I've learned.
Gotcha. What about for you, Keegan?
Yeah, kind of similar to another answer I had, which is looking back is just the people, like how important the people are around you no matter what you do. It's really cool just to see all the people that I've made relationships with here, and even with your guys' questions about like me transferring, like I remember going to Chipotle and talking to Caleb, Mayo, Coach Hen about transferring, like, and they're people that are in the program, of course they want what's best for the program, but they also want what's best for me, and just like being able to have relationships like that where you just do life with people. And I mentioned Zach and Mayo coming back and being on staff, Luke McGhee. It's just like multiple people that have invested in me and in us. And I think that's the biggest thing I've learned is if we didn't even win any championships, like in this last 5 years, I wouldn't have traded it for anything because of the people that have been here along the way that have made it so enjoyable.
In turn, who do you think Keegan has reached out or looked at you as a mentor or example on this team now who might not be getting as many minutes that he wants, but has someone reached out and like sought some advice from you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say any names, but there's guys on the team that that they want more for themselves, and they work hard to get that and to get what they think that they want out of basketball. And our group is tight knit, and so we talk, and guys ask each other things, ask for advice. But yeah, there's definitely guys that are working for what they want right now.
Ed?
For Darius and for Keegan both, you guys have been through a number of positives and challenges in Liberty basketball, and you've seen a season end on the right side despite that, whether it's the year you guys knocked off Lipscomb on the road to win the ASUN tournament, or even a couple of years ago where you had that stretch of losing some games in Florida, and yet you found a way to win the ASUN tournament anyway and get into the big dance. What lessons have you taken from that in terms of battling through the current challenges you guys are dealing with and trying to get ready for the upcoming ASUN tournament this go-round?
I would say throughout all those challenges and when we persevered and gotten on the other side of that, you see like how strong that brotherhood really is, because when there's challenges, like guys like lean on each other and they depend on one another to kind of like come together and help keep each other uplifted. Like just to see that fight on a day-to-day basis with guys that you go to war with, whether that's practices or games, and you see how everybody just selflessly throw themselves in together to the fire. Like there's nothing more or nothing better to be a part of to me than that, to see guys go to war together and just that bond and that unity and how it gets magnified even after that within the team.
Yeah, I think for me, I was here one more year than Darius, so I got to experience the Big South, losing on the buzzer beater in the Big South Championship my freshman year. And I think it's pretty like simple. It's just that like losing sucks and like it stings. So like, I mean, we're all competitors, so we play to win. So just doing what we can to. I'm sorry, I don't really remember the question, but I think we're just trying to win another ASUN tournament, I guess.
John, last one, I think.
Darius, for you, at 5'9", I'm just wondering, like during high school and in the recruiting process, how frequently was your size brought up? And maybe, people have told you over the years that you can't compete and play at the top level or even professionally, because of your size.
Frequently, but I was never one that was swayed by it. Like I always, like when the ball is played in between the lines, like it's a fight at the end of the day. Like not just individually, but if you can provide some type of benefit for your team and your team wins the game, like you're obviously doing something of value. So I think as long as you can go out there and fight and to go out there and win games, I don't think anything else matters, to be honest.